Hey folks, I'm attorney Ben Schwartz. Today we're going to answer a question from Reggie in Newcastle County, Delaware. Essentially, to sum it up, Joel Embiid plays for the Philadelphia 76ers and sustained an injury where he got a concussion and fractured the orbital bone, which is the bone basically around the eye socket, holds your eye in place. And Reggie asked, when you're playing in the NBA and you sustain an injury, is that considered a workers' compensation case? And I thought it was an interesting question, and the reason I think it's interesting is it's something that, quite frankly, I never thought of before, because I primarily practice law in the state of Delaware, and although I do handle workers' compensation cases, we don't have any NBA teams or NFL teams or any, real big time professional sports teams where I would be getting NBA players coming to me for workers' compensation cases, like maybe my workers' compensation counterparts in other states with big major cities might be getting those cases coming to them. But to answer the question directly, yes, that is a workers' compensation case. So if you are a player in the NBA or the NFL or Major League Baseball or whatever, if you sustain an injury while you're in one of your games, you would have the right to pursue a workers' compensation case. You would pursue that workers' compensation case in the city and the state where your team is located. So if you're on the 76ers in Philadelphia, you would be contacting a Pennsylvania workers' comp attorney in or around Philadelphia, and there's plenty of them. But that's where you would go. That's what you would do in order to make that claim. Now, in that claim, you would have the right to get your medical treatment paid for. You would have the right to get partial recovery of your lost wages. If you're, getting millions of dollars a year because you play, professional sports, you're not likely to get millions of dollars a year in lost wages through a workers' compensation claim alone, because as far as I'm aware, all states cap the amount that you can get in terms of lost wages within a workers' comp claim, but there might be other avenues and other insurance coverages for that. It might pay you compensation if you have a permanent functional loss of use of a body part or a permanent functional impairment of one of your body parts. It might pay you compensation if you have a change in appearance. That's called a disfigurement claim. And there are other things, and each state has a different workers' compensation law or a different workers' compensation scheme, and what you're entitled to is going to vary from state to state. But my point is, if you are injured as an athlete, you need to contact an attorney in the state where your team is located, where you're, quote unquote, employed, and get a free consultation with an attorney to learn your rights. Reggie, I thought that was a very good question. It's something that I've never really thought of before, but I think it's something that a lot of people might wonder. I appreciate you giving me that question to answer in this video format. And folks, if you're watching the video and you think to yourself, well, I have a question about personal injury litigation, workers' comp, automobile accident injury claims, or medical malpractice claims, or what have you, these are the things that I handle. And I'm happy to hear your question. And if it's something that I can answer in video format like this, if it's something that I think other people will learn from and enjoy learning about, then maybe I'll do a video too. So send me those questions. I'm attorney Ben Schwartz. My email address is ben.schwartz@schwartzandschwartz.com.